So yeah, trying something different this trip. I'm going to do a few little videos. This is a hike to Boiling Springs hot spring. I don't know if you can see it there. No, can't zoom. But anyway, Boiling Springs hot springs. So, long road. Got stuck. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. So, as a result, fortunately, I had tire chains for my Jeep. And I was definitely stuck until I put those on. And then once I did that, it was hugely beneficial. Got me right out. So now I'm four-wheel springs, tire chains, and that road behind me over there is where the hot springs are. So that's one of my next goals, is getting down there, soaking a little bit. It's about a half mile down the road, and we'll see how that goes. Bye. Alright, did a little jaunt to the hot springs. There's a cabin up here you can rent, but they don't start renting it till May because they don't do the roads until May. But you can see all the hot springs, and I'm going to try this one right here, and hopefully it's not too hot. We'll see. Alright, so here we are on the first morning. Stayed surprisingly warm last night. But anyway, that's not what this chapter is about. So this chapter is about morning duties. Yeah, I chose that word right. So here I am in this campground that is closed for the winter, and that building back there is, that building back there is the potty for the campground, which in the Forest Service's infinite wisdom lock for the winter. And I'm sure there's an excellent reason to do that, because it'll allow yahoos come up here all the time, and you know, who knows? I mean, you know, there were beer cans by the hot springs, and but anyway, that's not what this chapter is about. So I think you can see where this is going. So I'll ask a simple question, you know, does a bear shit in the woods? And my answer to that is yes. And having said that, tried and true, perform those duties 200 feet from the river, which you can't see is over there somewhere, but broke the rule a little bit about digging a hole because the ground is frozen. So fortunately, there's an alternative in covering things in dirt, and I'm standing in it. So yeah, end of this chapter. Bye. Hey there. So yeah, I figured I'd just show you where I parked up here. Tried to make a hike out of this, but yeah. So a little bit of a hike. So it's a closed campground. That's the gate. You can see it's almost buried in snow. So it's probably about 3 feet of snow or so. So a little bit of a hike, carrying everything down here, but not the 2 miles I was planning. So I guess that's good or bad, depending on how you look at it. A little bit nervous getting in, having gotten stuck and everything. I needed to hook up the chains. The Jeep wasn't going anywhere, and the road in was a little bit squirrely, but it was also one of those roads, once you're committed, you're committed. There is no place to turn around. So pretty much got all the way here, got turned around, had the chains on. Should be golden to get out. We'll see when the time comes. Don't know if you can see it, but I woke up to a pretty good amount of snow coming down. You can see the snow, maybe? I don't know, maybe. So, but fortuitously, and probably made the most sense anyway, was to set up the tent in a tree well. So, actually worked kind of nice. and blocks most of the snow. So yeah, that's the campsite, about, I don't know, a few hundred feet from the river. So yeah, nice spot. Bye. Alright, so doing a little walk. It's pretty nice out. It's still snowing a little bit, but it looks like there's some peak of snow, so just kind of, I'll show you. Walking along here. Oh crap, I got these snowshoes on. So yeah, little bridge out near where I'm at. You can kind of see back behind me. This is the middle fork of the Payette River. Looking kind of nicely crystal clear. Looking the other way. Yeah, let me show you the river itself. Really cool. Anyway, yeah, just a little bit of what you can see if you get off the beaten path a little bit. Okay, here's another little installment. So a little history lesson, recent history is, so last night I was down in the maybe low 20s or something, so I had brought these emergency blankets. And what they do is they reflect the radiant heat back on you. Now the downside of that is it worked really well. I was really never cold when I was sleeping. But what happens is you all the perspiration, and you don't think you're perspiring, but you always are. And anyway, it builds up on the inside of the emergency blanket and basically drenches the outside of the sleeping bag. Not good. It's a down bag, so yeah, that's not so good. So, trying a new solution tonight. I have 3 emergency blankets, and yeah, so this was it. Basically, encased the tent between the inner shell and the rain cover with the security blankets. So the hope is that it's nice and warm and toasty in there, because, you know, hopefully from your body heat, that's the only thing you have to heat up the inside of the tent. But yeah, so we'll let you know tomorrow. Alrighty, here we are going into early evening, maybe about 30 minutes left of daylight. Just thought I'd show you a little fire pit here. Had to dig this thing out of the snow, then dug a little area around it to sit. And it was surprisingly easy to find kindling in the winter. Usually in the summer it's painful because everything's growing and everything's green, and it's just hard to find good kindling to start a fire. But winter, it was a piece of cake. Fires have been easy to start, a lot of dead grass and stuff, so really nice. So even walked around and found some dead tree stumps and cut those suckers up, and yeah, that's what I got. And you see the river back there. Again, this has been definitely one of the best hiking trips so far. Even though it wasn't much hiking, but the systems are good. Systems are working good. All right, bye. All right, here we are. I got the Jeep, all affectionately known as Pepe, is all loaded up. Chains are on. Snow is falling. Probably been about, since I got here, 3 or 4 inches of snow maybe since I got here. So I'm a little worried about the drive out. But I think with the chains, it's going to make all the difference in the world. So just a final view of where I'm at. There's the gate to the campground. Of course, it wasn't very crowded. Back there is where I got stuck. Put the chains on. There's Pepe. There's the road home. Fingers crossed. Bye. Alright, so I thought I'd do a little prologue on the hike I just did. Basically, on all the hikes I do, I try to go far enough in that I don't see a soul the whole time I'm there. I mean, that's one of the beautiful things about being in Idaho. You can get out and not see a single person. Now, if you're into being around people all the time, obviously that's not going to be so attractive to you. But on this particular one, even though I didn't hike very far and I was at a campground, I had to drive about 15 miles on a road that was mostly impassable unless you really were pretty well equipped. And there wasn't another soul the whole time I was out there. No snowmobiles, no vehicles, no nothing. So on the drive out, I didn't see anybody until I was 15 miles back out again. So it was an awesome trip. Got out safely, and definitely looking forward to do a little bit more of the winter stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna try these films every now and then. Looking at this one, it was a little choppy, a little odd. I won't say some of the things I didn't like about it, but it is what it is. I ain't 20 anymore, and so yeah, that's me. Hope to do this again. Bye.